Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Matt Horn
is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Kate.
No.
No. Kate, you can't see this. You don't want to see this. I'm sorry. Kate? I'm sorry.
Hey, Matt, it's Charlie Hewson over here in these great United States. Hoping to catch up with you sometime soon, just to, go over my long and historied acting career. I'd appreciate a call back when you get a chance. Thanks.
On the line, we have Charlie Hewson talking to us. From where are you talking to us from, Charlie?
I'm in sunny Los Angeles, California, Matt.
I'm in rainy Leicester. Way!
It's raining?
Yes.
In England?
Yes.
That means it's also very green, probably. You got that going for you.
It's raining Brexit. Raining in my heart. Well, I've got something to shock and horror you. I've just been sent a link. Live, Charlie. Live.
Okay.
I was thinking, we have actually met.
We have met. You and I. Uh-oh.
I can't believe it, but we have actually met.
I'm on the spot here.
Yeah.
All right, what is it?
Funnily enough, this was a long time ago when I did written interviews.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and you actually did a written interview for the film.
Yes. I knew you somehow.
Yeah. For the film Holy Rollers.
Yes.
Yeah.
In which I played the solitary goy in an otherwise Hasidic group.
It's been 9 years, would you believe it?
It's been 9 years. Oh, man. How it flies. I mean, you've advanced hundreds of years technologically from the written word.
Next year it's going to be, it's going to be video, hopefully.
At least. I mean, I would hope it'd be VR by that point. Now, technology is advancing at an exponential rate.
Well, talking about gaming, we've had a bit of a chat. Obviously, I'm still continuing my Gears of War 5 stuff. You're on the credits list.
Do you want me to catch up your listeners?
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so, I was in the fourth one, and I was in it in a couple different capacities. I'm in the opening sequence at, I think it's called like Ashpo Point or something. It's the first battle in the game. I'm the voice of the player. I'm the random soldier that you're fighting as in that opening sequence. And I recorded a bunch of stuff for them, and they were really lovely and had me in a couple times. And I also, in the course of recording, they started to develop a taste for my crazier stuff when I was going a little more manic and kind of bloodthirsty. So they pushed me in that direction, and they ended up making a call that they would use me as a Carmine brother. And they ended up only using that in a DLC that, the player could find in a loot box randomly at a certain time of year. So it was a very rare kind of thing, but I was indeed a Carmine brother in Gears 4. Anyway, long story short, I didn't record anything for Gears 5, and they have me listed in the credits. So either that's a mistake or they use me again and I get paid.
I'm sort of shooting myself in the foot here.
Okay, here we go.
Did you know about it before I requested the interview? You'd be listed.
No, that's a fair question. No, I didn't. I mean, I knew that Gears 5 was either out or coming out. And honestly, my thought when I saw the billboard was, they didn't call? But I hadn't researched any further, and it was in my preparation for this interview that I looked at my own IMDb page and saw the credit. And I was like, okay. So when Matt asked me to do this interview via my agent, that was not a mistake on my agent's part. That's a bigger story.
And I've got to mention this because I think it's interesting in itself. Because obviously it's mocap, isn't it? It's mocap nowadays. But on the credits they've put voice, which makes me think they may have used the fourth stuff, possibly.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. That would be super cool. Here's what I know. When I recorded Gears 4, a lot of games were mocap at that time. That was, a year or two ago. And Gears 4 was not mocap. They were doing it in a different style because it's over the shoulder mostly, and they're going for kind of like a caricatured, kind of cartoony physicality in essence. Like, I think they might have based it on some real human movement, but it's more like, the old school Disney cartoons where they would maybe use a real life actor for reference, but it ends up just being animated in its own right. I wouldn't be surprised if they use the same technique for Gears 5, but maybe I'm wrong and they use mocap now. You know what I mean?
I think it says NPCs, plural.
Like I said, I recorded so much, I wouldn't put it past them to use my stuff in a couple different capacities because I did 3 different takes for every single line, and I did hundreds of lines. They might have cut me up into multiple characters. But, of course, that's a best-case scenario because maybe that would get me paid even double.
One of the things that I found very, very mysterious about Gears 5, you'll like this. Did you know Sarah Connor was in it? No. This is an interesting thing in itself.
Sarah Connor is in Dun 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 Dun?
Dun 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 Dun, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Basically, they got Linda Hamilton
I see.
to do the voice of Sarah Connor.
Oh, wow. She's playing her character. So is she
Yeah.
a time traveler? Doesn't Gears take place in a distant time and galaxy or something like that? I'm not too familiar.
All I know is that it's a multiplayer aspect of it. That basically you can get a skin of...
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's sort of like what I did for Gears 4, where it's like a special, what's it called, DLC package.
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool. That's cool. That's a good idea. Cross-promotional with the new movie. I've heard that's good, by the way. In my humble opinion, Terminator 2 is the best of the series, and since then, there's not been a good one. But someone was saying that it's the best since Terminator 2, which, the bar is pretty low as far as I'm concerned.
Obviously, I like talking about films, and I do have to mention at this point, because obviously you are part of the franchise, even if it is just purely the fourth or maybe even the fifth now. What are your thoughts on the Gears of War movie?
Oh, I'm simultaneously a populist and a kind of like art film lover. I like both ends of the spectrum, and I really like when there are elements of both. In a populist film, when things get a little more thoughtful and arty, I really love that. And when something is crafted with a more artistic, more abstract sensibility, but it's still appealing to the everyman common audience, I'm always grateful for that as well. Anyway, long story short, I'm rarely allergic to a tentpole movie like Gears surely will be. People fighting aliens, it's a time-honored tradition in cinema.
Bit overdone.
Everything's been done, Matt. Wouldn't you say?
Well, well, you say that. I've just sort of looked on your IMDb. I can't think of a comedy whereby a nudist society was exposed by 2 conservative students. I can't think of one.
That is a short film called Naked Princeton. That was an early film of a now very, very well-respected auteur, writer-director, Josephine Decker, who's an old friend of mine from college. And that was a very, very silly movie and intended to be such. And she's since moved on, speaking of art house film, to very well-lauded Berlinale featured films. But yeah, that was a fun one. That was a long time ago.
Has it ever been done since, though?
I don't believe so, but
Oh.
I'm sure it was done already before then, or some version of it. There's always a new spin on things. But my point is every story's already been told to some degree or another. There's always a new permutation, but all the elements are old and boring, Oh, here's a good example. Like, monster movies have been made since the beginning of cinema, but the host is a brand new thing, even though on paper it sounds like, oh, another monster movie, boring. You know what I mean? It's incredible, partly because it mixes genre in a way that, as far as I was concerned, had never really been done. It was, a family movie and a horror movie and a science fiction movie, and, all of these elements kind of crashing together in a way that synthesized really elegantly, just as an example.
I think the 1950 film Robot Monster definitely has never been done since.
So you would prefer that they redid Robot Monster than make a new Gears of War movie?
Oh, that's difficult. Can we not have the Robot Monster in the new game?
Yeah, okay, deal.
But then people say that about The Room. Nobody's ever done The Room since. That's a great film.
Oh, Room, you mean?
No, not Brie Larson. The Room.
Oh, The Room. To be totally honest, I haven't seen the film. I've only seen the film about the film and seen various scenes from it.
You're tearing me apart!
You're tearing me apart.
Oh dear, Tommy Wiseau is a new skin on Gears of War 6. That's not ever going to happen, is it?
Man, I'm a huge fan of that stuff, that cross-promotional stuff. I always think it's fun.
Well, Charlie, let's talk a bit about you yourself.
Okay.
The mystery, the man, as it were. What made you want to get into acting in the first place?
Well, it's a bit of a long story. I'll see if I can truncate it here. I grew up in suburban Connecticut outside of New York City, and the culture was around sports exclusively. All my friends, bonded through sports, and I didn't care for sports, and my mother was worried that I would be a social pariah. So she sent me to summer camp in New England, a camp called Deerwood, to develop my passion for sports. It was, an old WASPy camp that, you would play a game of lacrosse after dinner every night. And I made friends with the more effeminate kids who cared less about sports than I did, and they roped me into doing theater there. The first play that I was ever in, I was 11 years old, and I was playing the tennis counselor, Bruce Wilhelm, in a camp version of The Wizard of Oz. I was the Scarecrow. And I borrowed my friend's tennis whites, and I was waiting outside of the wings of the stone building where we did the plays, and the building was buzzing with like 350 people before the show, and it was a very exciting atmosphere. So exciting that I shat my pants, and I was just about to go on, so I had to figure out what to do. So I ran to the woods, and it was sort of dusky. It was hard to see, so I ran to the woods and sort of did my best to clean myself up with leaves. And I waddled over to the outhouse, which is probably 100 paces away, and did the best I could to finish up the job. And I went back to the stage door, and the stage manager was there going, "Charlie, where have you been? Let's go. You're about to go on. Come on." I went on stage, and this is a visual joke, but I'll describe it to you. The opening scene, the lights come up on me with my back turned to the audience in borrowed tennis whites. I couldn't see off stage whether or not I had actually cleaned myself up or what the status of the pants were. And I turned around and sang my song and did a great job and got very boisterous applause. And that is why I'm an actor. I am a fearful person. I still have the same stomach to this day as a 37-year-old man. The fear is still in me, and it thrills me to face it. It's just incidentally also very fun to dance around and be an idiot in front of people. I've always gotten a kick out of it.
So what advice would you give for anyone wanting to get into the industry?
Well, I mean, it depends on what side of the industry you want to get into. But on my side, on the performance side, granted, I'm 37, and it's hard to make a living as an actor for most of us out there. I'm doing my best right now. I'm newly married, and I'm doing my best to diversify my credentials. I'm starting to write a lot, partly because I want to write stuff that I can cast myself in, which is one of my pieces of advice to an up-and-comer. Make stuff as often as you can, and that's a bit of a cliche at this point, but it's really true. I mean, it keeps you busy. It keeps you positive. It keeps you, pointed at something, which is really important because as an actor, you spend a lot of downtime sitting around and twiddling your thumbs if you're not careful, and that can crush your soul. So it's really important to stay engaged if you're not being engaged by auditions that are coming in. But the main thing I would say that you can do for yourself as an actor is to network. And there's a fine line. You don't want to be gross and be self-promotional and slick all the time, and you don't want to hustle in a way that's antagonizing to people, but just get out of your house and meet people and engage with people, because it's more and more these days you get cast in something where somebody knows you. If you're auditioning blind for a new project and the casting director doesn't know you and the director doesn't know you, you're on a stack of let's say a voiceover audition, you're on a stack of 1,000 submissions from all around the country because it's really easy to submit. So your odds are staggeringly low unless you know somebody. Inevitably, if you stick to it, you get lucky. I've gotten lucky a number of times in terms of knowing somebody involved in a project and that, helping me get a foot in the door. Ultimately, it's up to your own talents and drive and, how hard you work and the impression that you make in the room once someone's held the door open for you. But it's very difficult to do it by yourself. I mean, your odds are horrible in this game. It's very hard on the ego, and I like it, apropos of my poopy pants story. I've always enjoyed that kind of like work, and that's another piece of advice I would say is that it's really important to kind of like keep an eye on yourself and stay healthy. It's a job where your main job is to be told no. And that's something that you don't really consider going in, because if you want to get into it, it's because you think you're pretty good. Somebody told you you're pretty good or whatever. But you're going to get told no a lot. And if you ask anybody who's made it, inevitably 99 out of 100 times, they will have a long story for you about how many times they were told no. And it never stops. Even someone well-established, is still experiencing it. It's constantly a fight, even if you're Brad Pitt, and granted he's doing stuff where he's taking the piece of advice from earlier where he's starting to make his own content and is more and more on the producer side because it seems like that's what excites him. But it's never easy for anybody. So keep that in mind, you guys and gals.
Well, I want to talk to you about a show which you probably can't talk much about because it hasn't even been released yet. It's Spinning Out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't probably tell us much. But going back to what you said about sort of things being done before, this is about a skater who seizes an opportunity to continue as a pair skater with a talented bad boy partner. Isn't that just Dirty Dancing?
On ice?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, Matt.
Yeah.
Every story's been told, but just, as long as the permutation is right, it's all good. It's fresh. On paper, I see that similarity. In practice, having seen some rough cuts of an episode or two, it's much moodier, and it's about peers rather than, a much older dance instructor and a much younger woman. So it ends up having a much different energy than Dirty Dancing. But there are a lot of smooth moves in it if you're into that kind of thing. So there will be some audience overlap for sure.
What was it like working on that show?
It was really, really great. It shot in Toronto. And I was back and forth a couple times because I was in 6 out of 10 episodes, which is, speaking of luck, just a really excellent stroke of it. I play the doctor in town, and I'm just there through the season. It's cool. The energy, as far as I can tell right now, is the comparison I would make is that it's like a teenier Friday Night Lights. It's a little soapy in a way that I think especially teenagers will really enjoy, but I think it'll be fun for the whole family.
Is it on Netflix, Amazon Prime? I presume it's one of them.
It's Netflix, yep. If you are listening to this conversation at home, listeners, you can go to Netflix right now. I don't know how it translates internationally if you're in England, but if it exists in England, you'll be able to go to Netflix right now and add it to your queue, even though it's not on there yet.
Hang on a second, I'm just going to find out for them.
Oh, yeah. Give that a go.
Yeah, hang on. Yep, you can.
Matt is adding it to his queue.
I have, yeah. Unfortunately for them, though, it's coming out in 2020. There you go. I've added it in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you. So, obviously, a really good question here is, obviously, you've been in a number of different films and TV series. Which actors and actresses have been your favourites to work with and why?
Ooh, okay, that's fun. Drew Barrymore was a dream. It's interesting because most of my career has been as a day player. So if I'm lucky, I'm on set with the star of the thing. But a lot of the times I'm not interacting with them. So in Going the Distance, which was the Drew Barrymore film I worked on, she was the main character in a romantic comedy with Justin Long about a long-distance relationship. My bit in that movie, I believe that was the movie where my role is literally douchebag. I'm credited as douchebag. He hits on Drew Barrymore's best friend and then makes out with her in the background for a long time. And I made out with Natalie Morales who played Drew Barrymore's best friend, who's now doing very well. Just had a primetime show for a season or two. She just got cast in something else now, and I'm very happy for her. Anyway, we made out for probably like a good hour or two in the background, just like furiously going at it on top of a golf video game that was in the bar where the scene took place. And they ended up not using a stitch of it because I think we were just going a little too furiously, and it didn't end up matching the kind of mood of the movie because it was very early on in the shoot, and the script was much goofier than the movie ended up being because it was directed by a documentary director, Nanette Burstein. So I think she just went much more realistic, and we were doing something very wild and campy. So they cut it out entirely. You see me hitting on the best friend and whisking her away, and then that's the last you see me. But Drew Barrymore, she was just so gracious. She was amazing. She was the kind of person who like really takes the time to look people in the eye, regardless of whether or not they have any significance to her day. You know, she was a genuinely sweet, outgoing person, and was more serious than I expected she would be. You know, she was definitely critically thinking about the job that she had to do, but was really sweet and generous, and she was great to have around on set. As far as someone I've worked with more directly, Russell Brand in Arthur was a shining beacon of a person, really, really wonderful guy. Constantly hilarious, as funny as you would think he would be at all times. And speaking of engaging with strangers, I played his best friend in a sham wedding in Arthur. And it was in a cathedral in New York City on Park Avenue with maybe 600 extras. It was a massive day. And Russell Brand spent his downtime walking amongst the extras, just trying to find kids and make them laugh. He was amazing. And he was also really fun to shoot the scene with. I had, a couple lines with him, and he was a very generous actor to work with as well. Who else? I've been really lucky. I mean, it's very rare that anyone gives me any agita on set. I don't think I've really had a bad one. Oh, Journey Smollett was really great. That was one of the things where I actually had a fairly big scene with her in Underground. Have you heard of that show? But I'm a big fan of that show, and we had a lot of lines together in that scene, and she was just really wonderful to watch. Like, it was the kind of thing where it almost took me out of the scene because of how elegant and subtle she was with everything she was doing. She was really marvelous to see in person, just acting away.
Are there any actors or actresses that you want to work with in the future?
I'm not a very forward-thinking person, which is actually, I think, part of the reason that I'm still in the game. My goal is to make a living as an actor. I should be more ambitious, and I'm feeling more ambitious as a new husband, with a family on the horizon. But I've never really daydreamed about who I want to work with. I mean, here's my answer. It sounds like a cheap answer, but I love the job, and I love it in all of its different facets and qualities. So, for example, if it is really hard because no one is getting along off set, like off stage, and there's just no natural chemistry with the people working, and then you get on stage and you're doing your work and nobody's listening to you and you feel like you're utterly alone. I love that. I love the worst case scenario. And that is going back to the advice point. Like, even on a good set, you have a day where just everyone's exhausted and no one has anything left, and they're drawing from resources they didn't even know they had. My cheap answer is there's not really anyone in specific. If you ask me about an actor, I could tell you what I think of them, but I don't really have a list of dreams.
Well, unfortunately for you, Charlie Hewson, I am a forward thinker.
Good.
You are either going to laugh your head off, or you are going to literally ring your agent now whilst we're on the phone and go, you're never going to believe what he's just told me. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I never believed the power of these podcasts at all. But today, I think I've had the best idea, and it's resulted in the interesting answer. Charlie Hewson, are you in Gears 5?
Am I in it? I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I'm going to say yes, I'm in Gears 5.
Yes, and you're going to go, what's he done? So, people, for some bizarre unknown reason, upload the credits to said game.
I see what you're doing. You've sleuthed it.
Yes.
You've sleuthed me into this game.
Yes.
In real time. Matt, that's amazing.
Well, not really, no. So there is a 15 minute, would you believe this? I've had to spend at least 2 minutes skimming it, trying to find the cast list. So, obviously, there is a bit of the credit sequence where it basically says, thank you to our family and friends for supporting us on this journey, blah, 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 blah. Finally, all of the original developers, it says here, blah, 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 blah. You gave us one hell of a place to start. And then it gets to the cast list. And sure enough, would you believe it, your name is actually on the cast list in this game. As a credit in this game.
What's my character?
NPCs, as we said originally.
Man. Well, this is very exciting news, man. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting notice, speaking of real time, I'm getting notice from my agent that the way that this works is because I was paid for integration in the original recording sessions, I am not paid for their reuse of my voice in Gears 5.
Oh, that's terrible.
So I get a credit.
That's still nice having the credit, I would say.
It's something. It's something. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. You got to take what you can get in this business, you know?
Well, I'm going to give you a 1 minute plug. I feel it's not going to be for Gears 5, unfortunately. I think it's probably better you do spinning out. Starting from now and anything else you've got coming up?
I am in Netflix Spinning Out this early winter. It is a show about figure skating, and I'm in a good portion of it, and I'm very excited, and I think you should be too, listeners. Dear listeners, please tune in. That's really all I have to say about that.
Have you got a few shorts coming out, from what I can say?
I'm always waiting for something that somebody promised would be released sooner than it is. Here's where my memory becomes beneficial. I'm not sitting here thinking, God, where is that person with that short film who said that they'd release it a year ago? You know, it doesn't stress me. But, you know, maybe that's something I should stress about. Another thing in this business that you realize is that it's good to get fires lit under people's respective bums. And it's good to have one lit under your own to motivate you as best you can. But it's also good to reach out to people and be like, hey, where's the thing you said you were doing? You know, sometimes people need some kind of inspiration, motivation.
Well, you are in Upload, aren't you?
As far as I know, that's a tricky one. We'll see when the pilot comes out. I shot the pilot, and then they went on to shoot the rest of the season without me in it. It was shooting at the same time as Spinning Out. This is the life of the actor. Do you see the aspiring actors? Do you see how hard it is? This is what it's like out here in these streets.
And the last project I can see of interest is We Bare Bears.
Oh, man. We Bare Bears was so fun. Oh, man. If I could do that. Here's the thing. I've done a lot of on-camera work in my career. I would be perfectly happy with a voiceover career where I could play silly voices in a kid's cartoon and never appeared on camera again. There's not a single part of me that would regret that decision. I think I played 4 characters in that episode. It was so fun.
It's all about bears.
It is. It is, yes.
No clue in the title, obviously.
Yeah, I don't really know what the title means. I think it's intended to be a little cheeky and confusing. You know, it's about just 3 best friends doing their thing as bears in a human world.
Like it should be.
Yeah, they're anthropomorphic in the show. They're not man-eating bears, to be clear, for the children.
It is a children's show, we should point that out.
Yes, they're very gentle bears. There's a panda, a grizzly bear, and a polar bear.
Ah, dear.
A good mix of bears. These bears are completely nude, as far as, you know, by human standards of not wearing clothes.
well, Charlie, on that bombshell, we've come to the end of the podcast.
Yeah, here we are.
And here we are. Well, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah, nice to be here.
I thought it was going to be like, ta-da, and you'd be like, like that.
This is the grim reality of my business. Welcome to it. This is a proof is in the pudding kind of situation.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Charlie.
It's a pleasure. Bye-bye.